mano here for Edwards. Edwards, a shot! Dang! Dylan, you brought the Gretzky Trophy to Kitchener for the first time since 2008!
The battle for Ontario Hockey League supremacy is about to begin. The Kitchener Rangers continuing their incredible 2025-2026 campaign, taking it as far as you can in this league, hosting the Barrie Colts for Game 1 of the OHL Championship Series tonight. Good evening, everyone, from East Avenue. We are live throughout the hour here on CTV News at 6 from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium, the Odd, a building that is steeped in decades of history, rich with tradition and celebration, the kind of celebration that the Kitchener Rangers are hoping they'll be having by the end of the series that kicks off tonight. This is Game 1 of the OHL Championship Series. At stake, the J. Ross Robertson Cup and OHL supremacy, along with the right to move on and vie for Canadian junior hockey supremacy at the Memorial Cup. You can't help but wonder on a night like tonight, though, if history could repeat itself. So let's give you a little look at the Rangers by the numbers. They have been to this series before. They have won the OHL final 4 times. The last time was in 2008, so needless to say, they are hungry for another win. So are fans, so is the community. They've been to the Memorial Cup 6 times. Twice as a host team, host city. And as for going all the way, well, the Rangers won the Memorial Cup twice, once in 1982 and again in 2003. So it's been a while. Fans are hungry. The community's hungry. Fans are beginning to pour in right now. The other part of this story, though, beyond the numbers that we're going to be bringing you here tonight, is the relationship that this hockey team has with this community. Boy, you feel it almost everywhere you go. I had a chance to speak with the Rangers' Chief Operating Officer, Joe Birch, about that relationship, the depth of it, and what junior hockey means to the players, the fans, and to the team. When you consider that this organization has been here before and it's been a while, it's been, you know, more than half a generation, what sort of significance does that add? What sort of depth does that add to this moment?
Well, it's something, you know, we all work for an organization that we want to leave better than the way that we found it. And this could be a really special way that we've built upon that. And the players and the staff involved may live in something that can never be taken away from this really, really special group of people. And the community and the fans deserve that, and they'll remember that. So it's really, really unique. It's really hard to get here. It's an incredible league, but I think the effect and the impact on the community and on the players and on the staff, it'll live forever.
That is for sure, and the chance for that kind of feeling to be born once again starting here tonight. So we'll hear more from Joe Birch a little later in the hour. Also coming up, I'm going to be speaking with the Commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League, Brian Crawford, to talk about his role with this organization in general, with the league, his vision for the league, and I'm going to be speaking with someone who is a perfect example of an unsung hero in this organization, a Billet family, families who take players in when they are playing for junior hockey teams, and families who open up their homes and their lives to these players who are at such pivotal points in their lives. We'll have all that later in the hour, but this is a true team sport. And on that note, I'm going to pass it back over to my colleague, Leanne Evans, who's back in the studio, ready to give us the day's news. Leanne.
Yes, Tony, thanks so much. Lots of excitement over there at the Odd tonight. We look forward to your coverage, and of course, we're going to be checking back in throughout the hour plenty of times. And we are hearing from the OHL today on the league taking disciplinary action for the post-game remarks made by the Barrie Colts head coach after Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final Monday night.
Coach, words probably escape you after that one. Maybe you can try your best.
No one cares. Work harder.
Dylan Smoskowitz made the comments Monday night after Barrie's 5-0 victory over the Brantford Bulldogs when they punched their ticket to the OHL finals. The OHL issuing a $15,000 fine today to the Barrie Colts Hockey Club for conduct detrimental to the public perception of the league. Well, now let's head back to the Odd, where Ashley Bacon is also standing by live tonight in the fan zone for us. Ash, good evening to you. Fans are starting to file in there, I see.
Good evening, Leanne. That's right. This is the place to be. Everyone is streaming in now, and there is a long lineup out the doors of the Odd. This is going to be a full house tonight. It is so exciting to see all of the fans come through. Everyone is so excited. You should feel the energy here. Game one about to get underway in just over an hour, just under an hour now. So things are going to kick off so soon. But I know our fans and folks at home want to know what's happening, not just inside the arena, outside the arena. That's important too. So let's take a look at what's going on with our boards right now. So we have a frost warning in effect from Environment Canada. That is in play through tonight and into tomorrow morning. We are looking at potentially some frost issues on your plants, crops, and trees. So make sure you cover up if you have the ability to do so. As we take a look at our satellite radar, there is not too much happening right now over our region. We are going to get a little bit of spotty shower conditions through the overnight hours, but generally speaking, it's dry out there, just starting to cool off. We're around, 9-ish degrees. It's not too cold. So if you take a look right now, not too bad with the temperature. Things are definitely colder out there tonight than we saw earlier in the week. But as you can see now, Leanne, there is so many folks coming in. The excitement is on, and we have so much to talk about here as a community. And of course, in this rink, it's going to be one night and one place to be for sure. Leanne.
Yeah, Rangers fans fired up and ready to go. Ash, we will also be checking in with you throughout the hour, so we will see you soon. And staying on the ice, the Cambridge Redhawks are the 2026 Greater Ontario Hockey League champions, a winning end to head coach Todd Bertuzzi's first junior season in that position. As CTV's Colton Weens tells us, he hopes to do it all over again.
Cambridge Redhawks using their new hardware to collect donations for McHappy Day, while also celebrating winning the Greater Ontario Hockey League's Sutherland Cup.
Awesome, surreal feeling. I mean, it's honestly special. I don't think it's really settled in.
It's pretty amazing that I was able to win the Sutherland Cup and have my name edged onto it.
Force the shot, the rebound, and score!
The Redhawks finished the postseason on Saturday with a dramatic 4-3 overtime win over St. Mary's.
To have 2,000 there on Saturday night in our home rink and have that goal pop and that crowd pop when that goal went in, I mean, that's truly a moment we're never going to forget.
Cambridge dominated the regular season, only losing 5 times, and followed that up with a nearly perfect playoffs, losing once in 17 games.
This one's a proud accomplishment, and I was very happy for the kids to win.
It was the first season coaching Junior B for former NHLer Todd Bertuzzi, saying not being able to physically impact the game on the ice was different, but he plans to be back to do it again.
I promised him that if we had a good stretch and a good run, that I'd love to come back, and we're fortunate that we won and like to come back and try to repeat.
The way that he shaped the dressing room, the boys on and off the ice, we had such a good family culture in there.
The kids are going to be a lot more prepared. This year was a very, very big development year.
I think he's got to teach just as much, because now you have to control 25 egos who just won a championship.
6-1-9. And the champions, now a staple in the city, sharing the love they felt all season with their fans.
Sutherland Cup, woohoo, go Redhawks!
Can't miss a day like this.
I was so excited for them to win it. I knew that they were going to do it. I had no doubt in them.
We started to come watch Forrest because he was a Kitchener Ranger, and then we got hooked ever since.
And the celebration isn't just over yet. They are planning a parade across the city of Cambridge to celebrate the championship on Saturday, May 16th. Colton Weens, CTV News, Cambridge.
A funeral is held today for Sergeant Brandon Malcolm, an Ontario Provincial Police officer killed in a motorcycle crash while on duty last week. Thousands of police officers lined the route as the procession made its way from a funeral home in Oshawa earlier this morning to the Coburg Community Centre, where the service was held. The 33-year-old died after a crash on Highway 401 near Coburg. The circumstances surrounding what happened are still under investigation. A man convicted of manslaughter and sexual assault in the 2001 death of a 13-year-old girl in Puslinch is back in prison. Christopher Watts was granted statutory release in November, but he's back behind bars after breaching conditions of his release yet again. CTV's Heather Centerin explains.
The Parole Board of Canada has revoked the statutory release of Christopher Watts, now 65 years old, saying in his decision, "You have a lengthy criminal record that includes violence and sexual violence and have been assessed at high risk for further offending." In 2003, Watts was convicted of manslaughter, sexual assault, and sexual interference in the 2001 death of 13-year-old Amanda Raymond. She died while at a party at Watts' home on Puslinch Lake. Watts gave her drugs, which put her in a coma. He didn't call for help. He sexually assaulted her and took videos and photos. Watts was sentenced to 12 years in prison, followed by a 10-year long-term supervision order. The parole board said that order had been suspended a dozen times. Last November, he was released with a long list of conditions, but in January, the parole board said he reached one of the conditions to not possess pornography. The board said a CBRF staff member advised that you had provided him with a USB stick the night before, but while he was inspecting it, he noticed 2 pictures of nude young women saved on it. When he was released, Ottawa police noted the high-risk offender was living in the area. Under his conditions, he isn't allowed in several cities, including Kitchener and Waterloo. He was residing at a halfway house, also known as a community-based residential facility. Your plan is to return to the CBRF. However, they have withdrawn support for you. As a result, you have presented no viable release plan. The parole board did not say which prison Watts is in now, but the board described Watts' accountability, motivation level, and reintegration potential as low. It is the board's opinion that you will, by reoffending before the expiration of your sentence according to law, present an undue risk to society if released. Watts will stay in custody until he is granted a new release, but it is unclear when that will be. Eventually, when he is granted another statutory release, it will again come with a long list of conditions, including not being within 50 meters of children and reporting all relationships with females. Heather Centerin, CTV News.
Lemonade brought local daycare students face-to-face with some first responders today.
2, 1, go!
Kids at Rising Oaks Early Learning in Kitchener teaming up with first responders in a lemon juicing competition. It's part of the Family and Children's Services Foundation's kickoff to their Lemonade campaign. Participants are provided all the essentials to run a lemonade stand, where all the proceeds go towards getting local kids into summer camps.
It's the community outreach. We love helping the community, sending kids to camp who, can't otherwise afford it. It's a great way, and who can say no to those smiling little faces.
June 6th will be the 3rd Lemonade Day for the organization, with plans to hold them throughout the month of July. Still ahead on CTV News, new insights into a mystery more than 180 years old. DNA analysis revealing details about the men who were on the doomed Franklin expedition. How a University of Waterloo anthropologist played a part in the search for answers. Next.
I'm Tony Grace at the Odd here in Kitchener. Game 1 of the OHL Championship Series between the Kitchener Rangers and the Barrie Colts. Just about 40 minutes from now, we're going to get more into the story about the role of the team in our community and the Ontario Hockey League. Because coming up, I'm going to sit down with the relatively new commissioner of the OHL, Brian Crawford. I'm going to ask him what he's learned in his role so far and his vision for the future of the league. That's coming up.
Well, it's another cold night expected here in Waterloo region with a frost warning in effect. How long will this cold snap last? Those details coming up with your full weather forecast a little later in the show. Stay with us.
A child vanishes without a trace.
We went around looking for him. We could not find him.
More than 60 years later, the search for answers isn't over. Coming up on Unsolved 519.
Welcome back as we return to our coverage of the OHL Championship Series. The Kitchener Rangers set to face off against the Barrie Colts tonight at the Odd in Kitchener, where the league commissioner is also spending some time with us. CTV's Tony Grace live on location tonight. Tony, you had a chance to speak with Brian Crawford about a number of topics.
Absolutely, Leanne. We had a chance to sit down and talk about what he's learned in his nearly 2 years now as OHL commissioner. It was just about 2 years ago that he took the reins of this 20-team league. One thing we've really zeroed in on is the pivotal moment that this league plays in the lives of these young hockey players who are about to be hitting the ice here tonight. I had a chance to speak with him about the role the league plays in their lives, in our communities, and where it's all going. Here's part of that conversation. We're here with the commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League, Brian Crawford, as we look ahead to this championship series. First of all, welcome to KW.
Oh, thanks so much. It's great to be here.
It's been almost 2 years for you in this job now. I remember at the beginning of that, you said you wanted to go on a bit of a learning tour.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly last year was a full learning tour, getting to tour the whole league and visit all 20 of our markets. And I think the thing that really hit home the most about having the opportunity to do that was basically a reaffirmation of just how important our league is and all of the teams in our league are to the communities that we're in. You know, we are amongst the most important thing in all of those communities, and we are so deeply ingrained into them. And I think I knew that coming in, but having the chance to go and spend time in all the markets last year, and then obviously, you know, again this year, just, you know, kind of fully emphasized that.
Has anything stood out to you about the role that top-tier junior hockey plays in building a community?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. It is, you know, it's the thing to do on Friday night or Saturday night. And, you know, so many families that are here that, you know, they came with their parents and now they're bringing their kids. And it is a tide that binds communities together across our province, and of course in Michigan and Pennsylvania where we have teams as well. And it's special. It's special, you know, in those cold winter months when you're not getting outside, you're not interacting and engaging maybe with your friends and neighbors as much as you would if it wasn't for an OHL game that you can come and see your friends and family and connect with your community. And so, you know, that is part of kind of what is the secret sauce and kind of the superpower of the league.
You know, and at the centerpiece of all of this are people who are in the formative years of their lives, who are going through so much change in the pursuit of a dream. Does it ever dawn on you that it's such a profound moment for them? Oh, it is such a profound moment. I mean, we have this really unique duality of being able to, you know, develop young people, and not just the young people on the teams on the ice. We've developed kind of people all throughout the organizations, and also this really important role in the communities that we just talked about, while running a really dynamic sport and entertainment business. And so it is such a unique league in that way that we have this opportunity to, you know, impact young people in such a profound way. And for the majority of them, you know, it isn't as NHL players in the future. While we might be the best in the world at doing that, far more of them are going to go on to different walks of life, whether they're, you know, doctors and lawyers and accountants, and they're going to coach minor hockey in their communities, and they're going to be really great contributors. And that's ultimately what our job is, right? Is to develop the young people, to give them the platform to achieve their goals and go on to, you know, achieve great things later in life, whether it be in hockey or elsewhere. Well, speaking of challenges, it's no small feat to win the right to host the Memorial Cup. Yeah. You're here in KW, and you know, this community missed out on a chance to. I know it's quite a process, but what do you say to the fans in this region who might be disappointed that it wasn't KW this time around? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not something that actually our office or myself is actually involved in. You know, it's a CHL committee that does it, and they make the decisions. And you know, the reality is, you know, we have so many great franchises in our league, right? And Guelph was successful this time around. They are a fantastic franchise, do so many great things, as do the Rangers. And you know, everything I know about the process was it was really, really darn close. And so, you know, I think at some point down the road there'll be an opportunity once again for the Memorial Cup to come here to Kitchener. And you know, we're lucky to have such a dedicated and passionate fan base, you know, here in the whole KW region, you know, that, you know, fill this building and make it, you know, one of the best in our entire league. I always think about it kind of like Fenway Park, to use a baseball analogy, right? It's got the history and the environment, and it's a special place to play. And that competitive spirit to win the right for the cup. Competitive spirit. I mean, that's something that extends off the ice into the community, as we saw with this. Absolutely, right? The competitiveness of wanting your team to hoist the trophy, but then also wanting your team to win the rights to, you know, host the event, you know, is all kind of part of that spirit. And as I said, you know, we're very lucky to have two great franchises playing in this year's championship, and that we've got so many great franchises across our league, you know, that are doing special things. What's your vision for the future of this league? Yeah, I mean, I want to see our league be best in class at what we do. You know, I don't necessarily think that we're encumbered because we're, you know, not a professional league.
I think that we can do things professionally and set a standard for what is possible in the way that you operate a league. I want to see us continue to grow and thrive. I think there's lots of great communities, in where we operate this league that could potentially be hosts for teams in the future and be part of what it is that the league is all about. So it's a really exciting time for our league. There's so much growth ahead of us. There's so much change and transition that, of course, is a challenge, for people. But there's just so many opportunities, and it's really for us a matter of seizing those opportunities.
Well, we are about to watch the culmination of a season of close calls, ups, downs, roller coaster rides, all come together here.
That's every great hockey season.
In this building, starting off the OHL championship. So in the meantime, we appreciate the chance to chat with you about the league and about junior hockey. Brian Crawford, Commissioner of the OHL. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
And by the way, we touched on a few other topics, including that NCAA rule change relatively recently, which you might have heard about, which means that players at this level of junior hockey are now allowed to go on and compete for U.S. college teams if they wish. That was a big rule change with the NCAA. And Brian Crawford told me, he was perfectly frank, he said, you know what, that's created both challenges, but also incredible opportunities and benefits when you talk about where some of these players want to go and what they want to do in the future. So you can see our full interview with Brian Crawford over at CTV News Kitchener.ca. You know what? Memorial Cup host win or not for next year, Leanne, we've got Memorial Cup level excitement for this OHL Championship Series here, which kicks off at the Odd tonight, and I'll check in with you again a little bit later in the hour.
No kidding, Tony. I mean, just in that 5-minute interview that we saw, I think fans have been piling in behind you when we came back to you there. Great conversation. Thanks for that, and we will check in with you a little bit later on. It was a doomed voyage, but anthropologists working at the University of Waterloo are helping put the pieces back together about the 1845 Franklin expedition. The remains of 4 additional men who died trying to find the Northwest Passage have been identified using DNA testing. As CTV's Karis Mapp explains, the uncovered bones are leading to newly discovered ancestral links.
A new discovery is putting the pieces together surrounding the mystery of the Franklin expedition. Anthropologist and professor at the University of Waterloo, Douglas Stenton, was part of the team that excavated the remains of 4 sailors who died at sea.
If we add that to the 2 previous, we've now identified 6 members of the expedition through DNA analysis.
6 of over 100 men who set sail in 1845.
They were looking for the Northwest Passage and had been for a couple of centuries across the top of North America.
But their ships got trapped in the ice near King William Island, where the remains were found.
Just a few years ago, 2014, 2016, the 2 ships were found at the bottom of the sea, and people have been retrieving artifacts ever since.
Now, the remains of 4 men, including Petty Officer Harry Pegler, were all identified, putting previous confusion to rest.
He was a petty officer, and yet when his skeleton, his body was found in 1859, he was dressed as a steward or an officer's servant, which is a position or a rating, if you will, that Pegler had never held.
Speculation swirled that the body belonged to a friend of Pegler's who was holding his documents to bring back to his family. But a recent DNA study confirmed his true remains had now been found.
We did get a match, it turned out, for the great-great-granddaughter of Harry Pegler's sister. In fact, it's a perfect match. And so we were able to confirm that after about 167 years.
Subordinate Officer Steward John Bridgens was another man identified, who is also linked to a living descendant.
I'd heard the name, but honestly, I really knew nothing about it. It's kind of way beyond my realms of historical knowledge and areas of history I've studied.
Rich Preston is a journalist with the BBC in the UK who used to work as a researcher on a show linking people to historical figures.
The series was called Tracing Your Roots, and it was always great fun to look into these stories, but actually now I'm involved in one of these stories, which is really cool.
Our genetic work is opening a new chapter in the story of the Franklin expedition, and I think it's quite appropriate that that chapter is helping to be written by the families of the men who never made it home.
Karis Mapp, CTV News, Waterloo.
Okay, live look outside this hour over uptown Waterloo. We're sitting at 8 degrees here locally. Feels More like 4. We've been stuck in a little bit of a lull, and we're wondering when the spring weather will reach southern Ontario. Ashley joins us from the Odd with your full forecast just ahead. And also, human help or harm? What to do when you come across young wildlife and have concerns? Spencer Turcotte brings us that story a little bit later on. Back to the Odd we go ahead of Game 1 of the OHL Championship Series between the Kitchener Rangers and Barrie Colts. CTV's Ashley Bacon joins us live there. Ash, it's starting to get busy in the fan zone.
Oh my goodness, Leanne, the doors have been open for about a half an hour now, and fans are still steadily streaming in. It is going to be a packed house here tonight, and you know, the fans are really important to this organization. I spoke with the COO, Joe Birch, a little earlier in the day, and he had a lot to say about what the impact the fans and the community has on the gameplay on the ice. Take a listen. Joe, we're back ahead of Game 1 series finale this time around, though. Home ice advantage yet again. Now, speaking of home ice, Rangers are 23-1 at home. What does it mean to be back on home ice to start this one off?
Well, it's really exciting, and for our fans to be able to experience this is something, once again, that hasn't happened in 18 years. But from a hockey side, it's really important, and to the credit of our players and our staff, they've earned this right through an amazing regular season and finishing second overall. And it's an advantage, and hopefully our crowd will help us with that advantage with the energy that's in here. But it's a really important game. We're not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but we're fortunate to be here.
Barrie had a really strong comeback last series against Brantford. A lot of great goaltending. What's it going to take for the Rangers to find the back of the net this time around?
Well, I think, you know, you hit on it, that their goaltender was outstanding. And so we're going to have to find ways to get pucks to the net and get traffic to the net and just continue to play our way. All playoffs long, we've played a certain style that's been really effective. I'm sure those coaches will make some tweaks in there and adjusting to Barrie's style of play and some of their strengths. But we're going to have to pressure him and make the games long and hard for their goaltending and defensemen.
Now, of course, it's you know, just an incredible feat to get to this point. What does it mean as an organization, knowing the community backs you, and you're 4 wins away from it all ending?
Well, we're going to take it one shift at a time, and but it's really special, and the community has deserved this. Our fan base, our players, our staff, everybody's worked and pulled in the same direction for not just this year, but for the better part of a couple years to build to get to this spot. And it's once in 18 years, so it's even that much more unique. Not that we don't want to be here every year, but it's really, really special, and we're not taking anything for granted. It's a privilege to be here. 18 other teams would like to be here, and we're going to do our best.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Some great insight from Joe earlier tonight, but let's take a look at what's happening with our forecast. A frost warning in effect from Environment Canada may mean damage to crops, plants, and trees. This is likely to occur through the overnight hours and into your Thursday. As we get into our future cast, we aren't seeing a lot going on in the next few hours. Pretty clear conditions. We might see some overcast. However, overnight, there might be a chance for a spotty shower or two. So if you are headed out, make sure to double check ahead of time or keep an umbrella with you just in case. Right now, though, things are already starting to cool off. It's only 8 degrees in Waterloo region. As we look to all of southwestern Ontario, pretty cool conditions for this time of year. The warmest area being Windsor at 12. Now, those conditions are going to continue to deteriorate through the overnight hours. We are looking at a low of 1 degree with potential for patchy frost, as we mentioned at the top of the cast there. So do take care if you are headed out. Tomorrow, very similar to today, we're looking at another day of a high 12, clearing around the afternoon and a UV index of 5 or moderate. So not as much rain expected for tomorrow as we had today, but certainly not much better in the way of temperatures. Looking at our almanac back in 1949, we reached a record high of 31.7 degrees. So by comparison, much colder conditions being felt today. Sun setting at 8:29 p.m. And, you know, things aren't really going to take a turn quite yet to those summer-like conditions. As we take a closer look at our 7-day forecast for Waterloo region, 11 and showers for Friday, 16 on Saturday, 13 on Sunday. So things are still cooling off. As we move into Lambton, Kent, Essex, again, cooler conditions, slightly warmer here though. 20 on Saturday, a low of 11 overnight. So things not quite as cold in the Windsor area. And lastly, in southern Georgian Bay, things will be even cooler there once again. We are looking at an overnight low of 0 for your Thursday night. Showers returning by Friday and 10, and a chance for showers on Saturday with a high of 15. Now by the next week though, temperatures dipping back down to that 10 range into overnight. So at least for the next week or so, we are looking at temperatures below seasonal for now. Hopefully, you know, we have to take the positives. At least the sun's going to shine a little bit, and really the place to be while it is cold in May is inside the arena here where all the fun is. Leanne.
Yeah, it keeps sounding like it gets louder and louder there, Ash. It's going to be one of a kind evening there at the Odd. We'll talk to you in just a little bit. To the Middle East now, where U.S. forces fired at an Iranian-flagged tanker carrying no cargo today. The vessel was incapacitated as it attempted to sail toward an Iranian port in violation of the American blockade. The U.S. has kept up its blockade on Iranian ships in the region. But yesterday, U.S. President Donald Trump paused a 2-day-old mission to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz, citing progress in peace talks. Tehran says it's reviewing an American peace proposal that sources say would formally end the war, followed by talks. However, the two sides remain at odds over a number of difficult issues, including Iran's nuclear ambitions and its control of the strait. Russia has ignored a unilateral Ukrainian ceasefire, firing dozens of drones in nighttime attacks that killed at least 2 people. One of the strikes hit a kindergarten school. There were no students there at the time, but 2 people in the building were killed. The truce declared by Kyiv began at midnight local time. There had been no official sign from Moscow that it would heed the ceasefire. The Ukrainian truce followed the Kremlin saying it would pause hostilities on Friday and Saturday to mark the anniversary of the defeat of Nazi Germany. The Russians have threatened a massive attack on Kyiv if their ceasefire is violated. A critical part of the support system for junior hockey players and some of the team's biggest fans. Still ahead on CTV News, we speak with the Billet family of defenseman Cameron Reid. Tony will have that live from the Odd after the break.
A Day is back on 105.3 Virgin Radio. Listen to Jeff KP and Backstage Bet for your chance to win $5,000 every weekday. 5K a day. Virgin Radio.
When we talk about the Kitchener Rangers and our other local hockey teams, there are some unsung heroes that we often don't put in the spotlight. Billet families are a critical component of the system. They open their homes and their lives to the many players who move from their hometowns for junior hockey opportunities. CTV's Tony Grace is back down at the Odd right now, standing by with one of those families. Tony.
Leanne, you touched on it. You know, these families make such a difference in the lives of hockey players who are out on their own, pursuing their dreams, pursuing their passion. One of those families is with me right now, the Lunny family. I have Candace, and I have Layla, and I have Nolan, and they know all about hockey, but they are the Billet family for Kitchener Rangers defenseman Cameron Reid, who's in his 3rd season now with the team. Candace, I just wanted to ask you what kind of a difference being a Billet family has made in your life.
Honestly, it's like an extended member of the family. Like, we love him so much, and he's like another kid to us. We treat him like he's our own. He's so good with our kids, and they're so happy to have him, and honestly, we just love him dearly.
Now, Layla, you told me that there's something that you and Cameron have, a little system that you have. Tell me about that.
When he needs to go down to his room, I give him a password, and one time when he comes upstairs, he comes up and he tickles
I love that. Nolan, you like hockey too. What's it been like having Cam in the house with you?
It's really fun playing with him and all the time that he's been here. He's really nice and stuff. I love him.
I love that. And I wanted to specifically ask Layla the story about being the keeper of the passwords around the house, because that speaks to the kind of relationship that players form with Billet families.
Yeah, he's honestly become like a big brother to them. And we just treat him like he's one of our own. I think we kind of have the thought that we would want our kids to be treated if they were out in this similar experience. So, yeah, it's really been kind of a life-changing thing for us. So,
well, thank you to the Lunny family for what you do as a Billet family.
Thank you.
It's a great role that these families play in shaping the lives of junior hockey players. And when you talk about fun, we wanted to bring you something else now as well, because you know that we like making little friendly wagers with our colleagues whenever there's a series going on involving a team in another CTV News community. So on that note, I had a chance to make a friendly wager today with CTV Barrie. And here's a little bit of our conversation with anchor Sarah Freemark about our wager. What happens if the Rangers win? What happens if the Colts win? Have a listen.
Tony Grace, it is wonderful to be speaking with you, my friend.
Always good to chat with you, Sarah. Great to be back with you and your audience. Joining you this time from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium, the Odd as we call it, because the Kitchener Rangers have home ice advantage in this series. But Sarah, you and I grew up in the same county. That's a fact of life. We grew up a couple of towns over from one another, so we know what a good rivalry is all about, and I'm all set for a wager on this one with you. So why don't you explain what the terms are?
I'm surprised you wanted to do this, because we made the same wager with our friends at CTV Ottawa. We all now know how that turned out. And the losing team, they need to wear the opposing team's jersey. And just to throw it in, make it a little more fun, we're also going to a case of locally brewed beer will also be part of the deal.
Okay, well, I'm familiar with the Barrie Colts. I mean, I sat in your chair for almost a decade, so I feel like I'm being a little bit morally tested here as well. But I'm familiar with craft breweries in your area. I'm familiar with the Barrie Colts. I'm okay doing that as a good sport. And Sarah, you know what? Blue is one of the predominant colors of the Kitchener Rangers jersey. I know that blue is one of your best colors, and that Rangers jersey is going to look great on you while you are sipping a Forefathers Brewery Rangers lager. So there we go. The terms of the bet have been placed.
Tony, it just so happens that Barrie Colts have a blue jersey as well, and I think our viewers are going to love seeing you in a Colts jersey once again.
Well,
good luck.
We will see. We will see. We will see indeed. And pretty soon here, we will see the beginning of Game 1, because the ceremonies are about to begin behind me at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. We'll bring in Ashley and we'll close out the final serving in this pre-game party in just a little while, Leanne.
Well, this pregame is certainly an exciting one, Tony, and I just have to say those Lunny kids might be the cutest ones I've ever seen.
Weren't they great?
We'll check back in with you. It's that time of year when you may come across baby animals, from unwanted nests to young wildlife that appear to be alone. Spencer Turcotte talks to the experts about how to best handle these encounters next. As the weather warms up, wildlife across Waterloo Region is welcoming a new generation. The Humane Society has seen a surge in calls about baby animals, with many people unsure of when to step in and when to stay back. CTV's Spencer Turcotte explains why, in most cases, the best thing you can do is nothing at all.
So they're just young enough that they don't open their eyes yet.
Inside this home's attic, a delicate operation is underway. 5 baby raccoons just weeks old being carefully removed.
Mom is in there. We don't take her out from by hand.
The goal isn't to separate the family, it's to move them safely.
We begin by removing the babies, and then we can use them to lure the mother out and then lock the door behind her so that she can't get back into the house.
It's a common call this time of year.
Spring's the busiest time of year. That's when, female animals are looking to have their babies. They need a secure spot to do it.
And sometimes that secure spot ends up being your home.
They're messy house guests, so they're going to do a lot of damage.
But while situations like this require professionals, most encounters with baby wildlife do not.
So we're getting a lot of offspring and a lot of concerns regarding the offspring.
The Kitchener-Waterloo-Stratford-Perth Humane Society says many of the calls they get are driven by a misunderstanding.
People see babies that are alone. They think they're abandoned because they don't see an adult with the nest.
But in reality,
the moms usually don't stay with the nest to avoid attracting predators. So they usually come back at dusk and dawn.
Meaning that well-intentioned assistance from the public to try and care for the babies, which seems harmless, can be harmful.
A lot of people will see rabbits or squirrels and feed them like kitten milk, which is actually deadly to them because they can't digest the proteins.
So if you don't know whether an animal needs help, experts say don't guess.
If you're unsure, give us a call.
A reminder that while wildlife may be closer than you think, helping them often means calling a pro or letting nature take its course. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News Kitchener.
Millions of people in Ontario will hear a sound tomorrow afternoon that will certainly get everyone's attention.
This is a test of the Ontario Alert Ready system. There is no danger. Hear instructions for protecting yourself.
Canada's Alert Ready system will be tested in our province at 1:55 p.m. It'll be broadcast on TV, radio, and compatible wireless devices. There is no option to opt out. The system was tested in all other provinces and territories today, except for Quebec and Saskatchewan. Media mogul and CNN founder Ted Turner has died. Turner Enterprises announced the news today, saying Turner died peacefully, surrounded by family. The Atlanta businessman and philanthropist built a media empire that included cable channels and sports teams like the Atlanta Braves. He was also an avid environmentalist. Turner battled Lewy body dementia in recent years. He was 87 years old. We have more news ahead. First, let's check in with Ash over at the Odd.
Well, things are cooling off outside, heating up inside in Tex, or is it going to rain goals real soon? There you go. More details on that with Tony just after this break. Stay with us.
Start your night off with E-Talk at 7, followed by The Big Bang Theory, MasterChef at 8, The Floor at 9, and then back-to-back, you guessed it, The Big Bang Theory.
Puck drop on Game 1 of the OHL Championship Series, just minutes away now. The Kitchener Rangers facing off against the Barrie Colts. On the line, the J. Ross Robertson Trophy and a trip to the Memorial Cup. Tony and Ashley have been covering the pregame extensively over at the Odd. Guys, I know that the crowd is filing in. It is going to be a packed house there tonight.
Leanne, you got that right. And visions of 2008 dancing in people's heads. That's the last time the Kitchener Rangers won the J. Ross Robertson Cup as OHL champions. Ashley, a lot of folks surrounding us tonight, hoping history repeats itself.
Oh my goodness, we have some great fans here with us right now. Jacob, how many games do you think it's going to take to win this one?
I'd say maybe 6.
Maybe 6? And what do you think they need to do to win?
Play hard.
Play hard?
Yeah.
What about yourself, guys? Well, how many games do you think it'll take?
We got them in 5.
Ooh, in 5.
Game 5.
Okay, so another 5-game series, you think, and what's going to take to win?
They're just going to put the puck in the net, work hard, keep doing what they're doing. Play 20-minute periods.
There you go, Tony, Leanne. So it's
I mean, they sound like, you know, simple keys to victory, but as we know, Ash, anything can happen. And Kitchener Rangers fans have filled this building to capacity tonight. It's sometimes hard to appreciate where we're set up, just what it looks like, but it doesn't matter what direction we look in. Fans are here, they are loud, and they are ready to cheer on the Rangers to victory.
You got it, Tony. It is a full house in here. Things are really starting to kick into high gear. And puck drop just a few minutes away.
It's not too far away. A bit of a pregame ceremony getting underway right now. Kitchener Rangers, Barrie Colts. Remember, the Barrie Colts were the comeback kids. They came back from that 3-1 deficit to the Brantford Bulldogs to win 4 in a row. So they've had less rest than the Kitchener Rangers, and that's something fans have pointed out to us here tonight. But I think that just about does it for our time here at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Ashley and our entire crew down here, it's been a pleasure to bring you a look ahead to this OHL Championship Final. Leanne?
Well, guys, thank you for the pregame coverage. It is going to be a good series. There is no doubt about that. OHL Championship Series Game 1 live from the Odd tonight. Tony, Ashley, and all the fans there, thank you so much. And guys, enjoy the game. All right, so that does it for us. Lots of pregame coverage there from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Of course, the Kitchener Rangers going into this one after 5-game series victory over the Windsor Spitfires in the Western Conference Finals. They've had a little bit more rest, of course, than the Barrie Colts, who just won the Eastern Conference Finals on Monday night after a 5-0 shutout victory over the Brantford Bulldogs with the upset there. It's going to be a great series to watch. OHL Championship Series Game 1 tonight over at the Odd. Of course, we know that one's already sold out, but Game 2 goes Friday in Kitchener as well before the team heads over to Barrie for Game 3. We'll see what happens. We will all be cheering for the Kitchener Rangers. And tonight at 11:30, CTV's Krista Simpson will be here with the post-game highlights. Thanks so much for joining us. Take care. Have a good night.